Joe Horrigan,
Yes.
for 42 years, the keeper of the flame at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, his last day on the job was yesterday. So would you see, is the building still standing? Because I don't know. I mean, I think he's personally held it up.
I don't think we've
Hercules style.
Not confirmed, but
one of the nicest, sweetest guys.
Yeah, ESPN did a cool story about him over the weekend. That was awesome.
I mean, he has been doing everything for the Hall of Fame, and in terms of a great story, when we first. And he was just like the sweetest man. He would be the ones calling the Hall of Famers on the phone to let them know that they were.
I sat with him a couple times doing that. Pretty cool, Rich.
You would because
we would.
All right, so I'll tell a story here. So we're on the air in Houston, Texas, at the Super Bowl for Super Bowl 38, our first one we ever did. Okay,
2004.
Yes, calendar year 2004. NFL season 2003. It was the year that the Patriots beat the Panthers, and then we watched them beat the Eagles the next year in Jacksonville. So reason why I'm bringing this up is our set was right near in the convention center, our first ever NFL Total Access set, right near the main convention center hall, like the largest room in the convention center where they held all the press conferences, including for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now, all you folks out there know the Pro Football Hall of Fame class is announced now at the NFL Honors. They try to keep it quiet. David Baker, the president of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, walks around and knocks on doors of hotel rooms where all the eligible finalists are holed up with their families, hoping to hear that knock on the door. And it's created some really amazing video moments where David Baker lets the players know that they're now fully enshrined, they're immortal. It's like a very nice, it's like a Publishers Clearinghouse moment without the check, right? So that's the way it's done now. And they try and keep that quiet until it's announced at the NFL Honors. It used to be they just announced it in a press conference. That's it. And the players who were finalists were invited to the Super Bowl city, and those that thought they were going to make it showed up. Others were working on TV and many other parts of their lives. They were working professionally at the Super Bowl and were just happened to be there. And some just wouldn't show because they didn't want to show up to the host city and then find out they didn't make it. It's expensive, and it stinks. I remember one year, Warren Moon told me the year he got in. Warren Moon was in town, and he was driving in a car somewhere around the city. I forget what city he was announced that he was in. He was driving in a car, and he was either going to get the phone call from the hall to say that he was in, and he'd show up at the convention center, and he'd drive the convention center, or he didn't get the call, and he was going to drive to the airport.
That's true. Wow.
And go out of town. So that's the way it used to be. And we're sitting there, and our green room was right next to our NFL Total Access set. And John Elway and Barry Sanders went in that year together. Did you look that up for me? Make sure that this might not I'm not palinking this story here.
What was it?
John Elway and Barry Sanders, I think, went into the same Pro Football Hall of Fame class in the summer of 2004. And they were announced in Houston together, and they were correct. And they were in our green room. They were in our green room just chilling out before they were being brought into the draft hall. I mean, into the convention center press conference hall room and being announced. And we got an idea at the NFL Network, you know what? Let's make this a thing. Like, we had video of them waiting, and just we could have interviewed them. And like, okay, so if players are here and the press conference is going there, let's televise the press conference. So the next year, I was the host of the press conference. And it was difficult tap dancing for me when I'm up there and the hard-bitten media of the NFL world was used to just having the announcement happen and those who were there showing up, and they'd be there. And then they'd find out the rest of them. Instead, I think I kind of Jim Grayed it. Like we try to draw it out. And the people in the room, the media members in the room, were really getting pissed off. So next year, it was just like, we're going to announce them and wait for the people to come and show up. And then I would interview them. But sometimes it would take them 5-10 minutes to get to the convention center. And in the meantime, Joe would get the guys who were not there on the phone for me to interview live.
Yes, I remember those days.
Yep.
Joe, a couple of times I'm on live NFL Network television, just trying to tap dance. I forget the name of the guy, and you don't have to look it up either. He was a Veterans Committee enshrinee who had been out of public life for a very long time. And I'll be honest with you, who I had never heard of. I had no idea he played. Like, it was really from a long time ago. But we were so desperate to fill time. Joe got him on the phone.
What year was this?
I don't even want to say.
No,
I'm not going to say. Joe got the guy on the phone. And as we're coming back from commercial break, he tells me, so-and-so's on the phone. But he probably can only answer a couple questions because he has dementia. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And Joe then ran away. Because he had another phone call to make. Sweetheart. I mean, this guy is just so, and I just was, okay, this is a great moment for this man. I asked him a couple of questions. He was able to actually answer them. But Joe gave me that nice little heads up, hey, just little heads up for you. Guy may not be able to answer a single question. Guy, just a sweetheart of a guy, and I just wanted to say thank you to Joe if he's out there driving around or he's on the driving range or wherever. Somebody just let him know. I just gave him a shout out.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.